Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. JACALYN. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. JACALYN at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV, and hello to our friends listening on Business Talk Radio. I am Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and our show today is the art in creating mental health wealth. Our discussion topic is NFTs are fueling a boom in digital art, how artists make and sell them. And here to discuss this with me is my co-host. She is a dynamo. She is traveling all over the world, and she takes us with us wherever she is. Let's find out where she is today. Let's welcome JENETTA Barry and the Epiphany Process. Hi there.
Hello, Dr. JACALYN. Hello, everybody. Great to be back. And where am I? Sometimes I'm forgetting where I am. I'm actually in the northeastern part of South Africa, almost into Mozambique, in the middle of the bush. So right here where I'm sitting is often hyena and lion. A few nights ago, there was lion right at this fence. So right here, I can see them like a few yards away. Amazing. So I'm right in the middle of the bush with my family who live here. My second son, Neil, and his wife, and two littlies live here in the bush, in the middle of nowhere.
And yet you've got such a strong Wi-Fi signal.
Yeah, we were saying earlier that, Neil is general manager for 5 safari lodges here in this area. And their commitment is to have a strong Wi-Fi signal for the guests. So I've probably got today, in the middle of nowhere, the strongest Wi-Fi I've had in 8-10 weeks of traveling around Africa.
Well, thank you again for making it a priority to be here. And I'm really excited about this topic. And you know a lot about this topic. But before we get into NFTs, JENETTA, for people who are joining us for the first time, share a little bit about your background and what is the Epiphany Process and World Jenny's Day.
Thank you, Dr. JACALYN. Always an honor to be here and sharing and co-presenting with you. This platform is amazing. I can't wait to share this with a whole load of people who've been asking me as well. So it's a very valuable program today. But why I'm here basically comes from my greatest life test. I used to be a motivational speaker, and I was pretty good at it. People would go away fired up, going, rah, rah, yes, we're going to get things done. A sales motivational speaker and trainer. And then I noticed people coming back saying, we need another fix or another dose of JENETTA. And I realized that they were artificially taking my energy, using it, and then feeling empty, not able to create that energy themselves. So I was like their drug. And so I took myself off for a little while and worked on my intuitive abilities, because CEOs of top companies will tell you their gut feeling and their intuitive knowing is their most accurate way of making decisions. So I was working on that. When again, I realized I felt out of integrity when people were coming to me and saying, we trust your gut intuition better than ours, so help us and tell us what to do. And I was going, I'm keeping people disempowered still, because we're all intuitive. It's not a closed society. And it was round about this time that I was querying all of this yet again, that my greatest life test happened. And one day, my 16-year-old daughter Jenny and I, we started off with a discussion where I was putting in firm safekeeping house rules, which escalated into an enormous argument with her just leaving in a rage, saying, I'm packing and I'm leaving home. And after a while, I sensed something wasn't right, and I went to find her in a room, and I found that she had hanged herself in her shower. So it was a huge thing to deal with. My whole life went to ground zero in that moment of finding her. My marriage, my youngest daughter made the decision to go and live with her dad in a country that allowed a 12-year-old to decide which parent to remain with. Monetarily, everything. I just went to absolute ground zero and wondered how I was ever going to get through it. It felt like a lifetime prison sentence. And prophetically, because I realized afterwards that it had taken 9 months to create Jenny as a baby and to birth her. And 9 months after she had died, I was crossing a road and realized in that mindless act, I'd gone into a mindless way of living and being. Halfway across the road, that I had made the decision that I had no decisions. I had no choice, that I was stuck in this black emotional hole for the rest of my life. And I got to the other side of that road and made a decision that I would start researching and looking very deeply into accurate ways to get through this unbelievably painful life test. Because I planned my suicide 3 times. That's how hopeless it seemed to me. And it took a long time. I didn't add water and stir. I had to do a lot of research, really pull myself up by the bootstraps a number of times. But I got there. And with that, I've been able to help thousands of people all over the world with what it's called the epiphany process. And I haven't looked back. I've helped people in terrorist attacks. I've helped people in dire circumstances and people with everyday today challenges as well. But one of the most profound parts of this was we realized that Jenny had actually died on the 10th of October, which is World Mental Health Day. And we've now created World Jenny's Day. And we've also created a 2-act theatrical production with contemporary dance and voiceover and song and visuals on depression, suicide, and solutions, which has been very well received and which we intend to franchise internationally around the world. So what with the epiphany process, World Jenny's Day every 10th of October, where we use theatre and the arts to soften the conversations around depression and suicide and presenting the solutions. And then the actual theatrical production, a very meaningful, heartfelt legacy is being created. And I'm really very grateful to USA Global TV for expanding that platform for World Jenny's Day and Insight. It's amazing. And that's what we're sharing today, is what happened last year's World Jenny's Day with NFTs.
Thanks, JENETTA. I appreciate you sharing all of that. And, something that came up for me as you were speaking was I was feeling inside that everything you're going through, and then you were also abandoned by the people that you love, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's a really interesting thing. And I share this very openly because I've been having lots of talks with my family on this. And I really believe the more authentic and open you are about what doesn't work in your greatest life test, the more healing happens. And I've noticed that the stronger you are, the more people expect you to be strong and take the punches. And I'm a pretty get up and go person, and how can we create solutions? And I think you can easily put yourself into martyr and victim by being strong. So I'm learning that when I step into my vulnerability and say, hey guys, I'm a human being and this is what's not working for me, and I'm either disappointed or let down or not feeling supported, or whatever it is that I'm feeling vulnerably unstable about, then new conversations come out. It might be difficult conversations to begin with, tricky, but some amazing conversations come out of it, because those who love you might have a little wobbly for a while, and then they realize that you're speaking from the heart, not from a place of fear or judgment, judging them. You're speaking from there, and then it's no longer necessary to take it personally. And in this trip alone, just amazing conversations that have opened so many hearts. But it's not been easy, but that's how it goes.
Well, congratulations. That's beautiful.
Thank you. So, Dr. JACALYN, I know you've been especially wanting this conversation on NFTs, and I'm going to hand over the baton to you to ask me what it is you'd like to know and how and where and when.
Fantastic. Let's take a look first at World Jenny's Day at the clip, then we'll go right into that. All right.
Fabulous.
I'm so moved by that every time.
It gets me every time, and it's my story, and I just sit there going, wow. Yeah, that chronological series of happenings that came about because every time I felt I couldn't go on, I knew then that the next part of my legacy was about to happen. So it was at the most difficult moments that the next step was shown. So those difficult moments are kind of terribly hard to deal with, but so important.
We need to go through them instead of trying to go around them.
Yeah, it feels like it would be so much nicer to not have to go through that pain, but I liken this. We deal with the creative arts in this program, and I liken it to this. Anything that's worth being created comes from stress, pressure, and pain. Whether it's birthing a baby, I sat for 4 or 5 days with my youngest daughter, helping her through the beginnings of birthing a baby two weeks ago, and I sat there going, here it is. She was in a lot of pain, and the joy that came out when this little bundle came into our hands, that was the outcome of the creativity of the stress, pressure, and pain. Artists will tell you that some of their most amazing pieces of work come from their greatest life tests, that if they hadn't had that life test, they'd have never have created that amazing piece of art. And anything that we have created in this world has come from lack, tension, pressure, pain, whatever it is. It's all come from that place. And if you don't have it, there's no creativity.
And you mentioned artists. Artists have certainly had their careers turned upside down in many cases over the last couple of years. And I believe as a result of that came NFTs. Is that true?
Yes, I think NFTs stepped in at a time that has helped so many artists to step into their true genius. We're going to, you and I are going to be interviewing a Ukrainian artist on the 30th of March who helped World Jenny's Day in our NFT collection, which we'll talk about just now. And I didn't know Vera before, but I watched her metamorphosis over this last year as she went more and more into NFTs and digital art and less into actual physical art. And she's an amazing physical artist. And what it's done for her and for the community that's built up around her. And I think that's the other thing that we'll be able to touch on today is the community that NFTs has created that was missing before.
Thank you, Janetta. Now, for people who have no understanding about what an NFT is, do you have to be an artist to have an NFT?
No, not at all. In fact, what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to explain what an NFT is, because a lot of people are going NFT and XYZ and what on earth is that all about? So I'm going to share that with you. Can you see it now, Dr. Jacqueline?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. So this is our NFT, and these are some of the NFTs that are on World Jenny's Day. So we were so excited and pleased to be one of the forerunners of it's called a drop, having an NFT drop last year with a whole series of different bits and pieces that we put out there. But before we go into that, what is an NFT? Well, an NFT stands for non-fungible token in the crypto art world. And through the blockchain, one can publicly register and authenticate physical artworks using crypto technology. So the blockchain helps you to differentiate the artwork from forgery and verify the ownership of an artwork. So forgery just isn't possible on the blockchain when you've got your NFT registered. And non-fungible more or less means that it's unique and can't be replaced with something else. So, for example, a Bitcoin is fungible because there are many Bitcoins that look identical to each other, and you have many of them floating around as you exchange them, and they're exactly the same thing. So they are fungible. But a one-of-a-kind trading card is non-fungible. So how do you become a part of the NFT world? So I'm giving you an overview now, and we can go into more questions and answers from this. And we've all been at the beginning of when I first started the NFT side of things, I was so confused. And that was only a year ago. NFTs are still in their infancy, although there has been quite a lot of morphing in the last few months since World Jenny's Day, in fact. And so if you are buying NFTs, the first thing to do is to explore and decide which NFT pieces you want to purchase. Now, OpenSea.io is the platform where you can trade on the blockchain. It's a wonderful platform to be able to have collectibles. It's a collectibles database. Oh, what's happened here? Oh, I've gone into World Jenny's Day, the wrong part. Anyway, so let's go back to.
I'm just taking some notes
now. Yes, please do, and I'm sure others will be glad too, and screenshots and all sorts of things. So you decide on which NFT pieces you want to purchase if you want to be a purchaser. And then you get what's known as MetaMask, which is a payment wallet platform. And if you don't have one, you'll need to open an account with MetaMask. And if you go to the World Jenny's Day page, under WJD 2021, the very last item is NFT art collection. So this step-by-step instruction is there for you to help you if you want to get going. And you will need to transfer money into ETH, which is Ethereum, and Ethereum is a currency that you use on OpenSea for NFTs. And you transfer that Ethereum into your MetaMask wallet so that you can trade in OpenSea. So it's an NFT marketplace built on Ethereum. I always think Ethereum sounds like something out of Star Wars. And I just love its name. But you will need to create an account on OpenSea. So you open an account in OpenSea, and as you can see, there are links there for MetaMask and OpenSea for you to do that, to make it so much easier for you. And to create an account, you'll need to connect your MetaMask wallet to the account. And the internet will give you a step-by-step guide on how to link those two. Once you've done those two things, you can start buying your very first NFT, as long as you have a sufficient EHT on the MetaMask for you to buy the NFT. And this can be seen in your total balance section in MetaMask, which comes up as an extra pop-up over your OpenSea screen. If you have insufficient Ethereum, you'll need to go back to step 2 and purchase the piece. And so you can, and once you purchase the piece, it'll appear in your collection on OpenSea as yours. Okay. Ethereum is a decentralized open source blockchain. Ether is the native cryptocurrency of the platform. And after Bitcoin, it's the largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization. And Ethereum is the most actively used blockchain, and NFTs and OpenSea NFTs are traded mostly in Ethereum. It's a very sound thing. But now this is an interesting thing that isn't mentioned here. Ethereum is pegged rather like you have currency pegged to what its daily exchange rate is. Ethereum has a gas price, and that gas price goes up and down. So people don't buy and sell at certain times of the day depending on the gas price. And the gas price is dictated to by how many people are trading at that time on NFTs. So if a lot of people are trading, the gas price goes higher. And if not many people are trading, then it goes lower. But the interesting thing is, in this last few months, since I was dealing quite a lot on this, Ethereum are really very dedicated to try, and they are bringing that gas price down generally anyway, so that it's not quite so much of a problem. But there is a gas price that you will need to monitor as well, and decide which times of the day are best to actually trade with the NFTs. So that gives you an idea of how to set things up. We did many things in World Jenny's Day. We even got our own Instagram filter, which we also put on as an NFT, but it's available in
Jenny's Day.
It's not streaming very nicely.
She has its own Instagram filter showing the amazing.
Yeah, it's not streaming very nicely, but
amazing symbol that we have of the beautiful rainbow butterfly, highlighting World Jenny's Day. Amazing.
So we did that, and we also had these NFTs here. There was Pete Cohen. Some of you might know Pete Cohen, Claire Wilders, who helped me tremendously with these NFTs, and who I tried to arrange to be with us today, and sadly couldn't be with us. And each one of us, there were 5 of us that donated actually coaching time in our area of expertise. So Luca for crypto investors and so on. So we had that. In fact, I'm going to go over to, this is OpenSea, by the way. Can you see it on the screen now, Dr. JACALYN?
Yes, I can see it. I'm just a little confused about, in the image that you just showed with you, the 5 of you, I think, across the top, what is the NFT that each of you are offering there?
Yes, thank you for that question. It's why I've gone over to OpenSea now. Now, this is the World Jenny's Day account in OpenSea, where all World Jenny's Day art collection is sitting. And a little explanation on what World Jenny's Day is. And here's the art sitting as NFTs in OpenSea on the blockchain. That picture, by the way, of Jenny wasn't, it's quite spooky, really. It is actually that picture.
And we can't see it. Sorry.
Can you not see it?
No, we don't see it. It just says collaboration with KIS Nature and World Jenny's Day, but we can't see what's below it.
I am then needing to.
There we go. That was it.
There, you've got it. Okay.
So now it's not on. Now it's not on the screen. Can you share again?
Yes, I'll share again.
We love technology. It's always keeping us on our
Wonderful.
toes.
Isn't it fabulous? Absolutely, it does. Here it is. Voila. Yay, ta-da. So
Yay!
let's go
Okay.
from the top again. Yay, there's OpenSea. You can see on the top left-hand side, it shows we're in the World Jenny's Day collection in OpenSea. So when you start looking at OpenSea, it'll look like this. Here's our collection. What I was busy talking about is that picture there on the far right is a normal picture, a photo that an app was able to bring to life and show Jenny moving and smiling. It's the very last picture we took of Jenny on her 16th birthday, 2 weeks before she died. Look at that. It was like I had Jenny interacting with me after she had gone. It was the most incredible feeling when this was presented to me.
It's
Quite
amazing.
something,
And that's an
isn't it?
NFT?
I put it on as an NFT, yes, so it's been registered. The picture in the center has been painted by a very dear friend of mine who I was staying with initially in Kenya when I started my safari in January. Her name is Moira Earnshaw, and she painted that painting as the main painting for Insight, the theatrical production I mentioned earlier. And we took it and we made it moving with pieces coming off the dancers and a heart that twirls in the middle there to make it a very different looking NFT.
So when
So
someone
here,
buys one of these, right,
yes,
do they actually somehow get the item transferred to them, or it stays here?
yes. It goes into their OpenSea account through their
Ah,
MetaMask wallet. And that particular NFT, say they were to take the two leaping figures, that's an enormous oil painting in real life, by the way, which Dr. Jacqueline, you and I must talk about because it is exquisite and I want to do something really precious with it. And we'll talk about it sometime. But as an NFT, it's got its own unique registered number. So if somebody buys that NFT, it will be in their OpenSea account through their MetaMask wallet as their very own.
okay, question.
Nobody
So
else
your
will have it.
friend who painted, you said it's an enormous painting. Did she take a picture of that and then you made it come to life with the, I don't know what it's called.
Yes, very good question too. Yeah, we took a picture. We used this picture for the poster for the theatrical production. So it's actually that picture without any movement and no added heart is the official picture used when we franchise Insight. That is going to be the picture, rather like Phantom of the Opera is the mask.
Mm-hmm.
This is Insight's picture for the production.
Mm.
So we took the picture that was taken of that enormous oil painting, and then we animated it through various apps. That's been animated by an app or through an app. And then we took that animation and put it on as an NFT on the blockchain. And these are various other pieces we've done too. This beach scene on the right side is where we laid Jenny's ashes. It's where we have our family holidays in Kenya. Very much was Jenny's beach before she died. Oh, that's interesting. It's gone. I called it Rainbow Sands. It's taking time. Let's take it back to where it was. I have a very sensitive mouse that sometimes picks up doing things I don't want it to do. Here's another one, Jenny at the age of 7, and we added butterflies to it because butterflies in Jenny after she died became very prominent, yellow butterflies, and then really unusual rainbows. So we amalgamated the yellow butterfly and rainbows and brought the rainbow butterfly you see to the right of Jenny there, became the World Jenny's Day butterfly.
And so
And
when
we
someone wants to purchase this, that there's a price that's set, a minimum price, and then it's like an auction sort of?
yeah, no, there's a price that's set that they buy it in Ethereum. And then that's when you look at your gas price, because if the gas price is the exchange, in other words, the exchange rate or the gas price could be very high if everybody's trading NFTs in that time, then you're going to pay more for it in terms of exchanging Ethereum to your currency, or your currency into Ethereum, and Ethereum into an NFT. So you've got to watch it, but there is set prices for these. This one is another one that we animated and called No Need to Hide, the one in the middle. The one on the far right, without Clubhouse, there would have been no World Jenny's Day collection. So I called that Clubhouse Clout. And we animated it with a lot of mist, and in the early days, that's how it all started, was Clubhouse. And an unusual rainbow that came in on the day of lockdown out my window. As lockdown happened in Oxford, there was this rainbow, and it doesn't show very much there, but it was practically touching that lady in the car park. It was amazing. One of the things you can do with NFTs is you can have one NFT with many, many backgrounds, and each one is unique. Here's the butterfly trophy that's been created by Jerome Sal, that's now being given or awarded as a floating trophy annually to people who collect the most funds for World Jenny's Day through the cycle ride we do through a Kenyan game park. And here we go. We've got all different types of NFTs. Here again is the mask. That's my daughter-in-law, who I'm staying with at the moment, with the mask on her face. And over on the far right is Claire Wilder. She has an amazing NFT collection. She's a scuba diver, and she has what's known as Dive Bunny, but she made a rainbow parrotfish one for World Jenny's Day and donated it. So you can see that's me with the mask there. Also there in the middle is an artist who's been so much a part of World Jenny's Day. She created that and donated it, and then we animated the butterfly over on the far left, going into the far distance, and so on. This one goes off a bit like a bat, flies away like a bat. Here is the insight picture without anything. Now, this is what you were asking about. This was very uniquely different. Mentoring with 5 different people, and you can see each NFT has a different animation. So Luca is very much to do with cryptocurrency. Obviously, what I do with World Jenny's Day and the Epiphany process is got the butterflies there. Pete Cohen mentoring with his ability to motivate people. Woon does a lot of podcasting, helping people to get podcasts up and running, and he's very knowledgeable on all these matters and helped me tremendously. So there's Woon's mentoring on podcasting and so on. So you can see there's a lot. This, by the way, I have to share this one. I called this my toilet bowl moment. When I get stuck, I go and do something I really don't want to do, like clean the toilet. And I ran out of toilet cleaner. And the two mixtures came up with this amazing work of art. So that's my toilet bowl moment. And and from doing something I didn't want to do, a beautiful piece of art came out. On the right here is, again, Moira Earnshaw came to the rehearsals of Insight and did these beautiful pieces of the people dancing. So that is ink and watercolor she did sitting on the floor watching everybody dance and perform in rehearsals, and so on. I mean, we've got a very extensive, there's some more of Moira's work. You can see it's, I'm sure everybody can look at it in their own time. But it gives you an idea of what that's about. Also, if you're wanting to know a little bit more of what's happening with NFTs, I'm happy to go forward with that if you'd like me to share that, Dr. JACALYN.
Sure.
Okay, so let me stop sharing again. So NFTs, a lot of the drop parties, so you'd have an NFT drop. So you've created maybe one or many NFTs, and you want to present it to whoever wants to be at that party. During the course of last year, most of those drop parties were held in Clubhouse, the audio platform Clubhouse, rooms by other NFT artists helping and supporting other artists. And that's now moved over. Since World Jenny's Day, more and more artists have moved out of Clubhouse, and they're using over on Twitter. They're using the Twitter platform. I forget what it's called. I think it's Spaces. Is it called Twitter Spaces? So a lot of the drop parties are happening there, and you'll meet a lot of artists there if you want to start interacting. And I think one of the big things with NFTs has been that artists have been able to unite and be there with each other and for each other. Huge communities, and being there and having each other's backs have been able to be created because of the NFT platforms, which was missing. Most artists kind of got on with things on their own, perhaps with their local community involved, and that was it. It's now become really community-based worldwide, and that's very heart-opening. Now, an NFT doesn't just have to be a work of art, or drawn or painted work of art. It can also be voice, a piece of prose, with just a picture. It can be just a picture, it can be a video, it can be dance, it can be acting. A lot of rap artists, when I was in a lot of those Clubhouse rooms in the early days, they were going, for the first time in their lives, they were able to launch pieces that weren't attached to publication houses, you know, where they were earning very little, and for the first time in their lives they were selling their songs and being rewarded in the way that they needed to be, because they were their songs. So that's been very revolutionary as well for a lot of artists who've been able to get out there, get their work out there and become known, and sell on the blockchain rather than going through a publication house. Big, really big.
It's really fascinating. And the artist gets paid once the sale is made, they get paid through that wallet?
Yeah, instantly.
So there's no limit to how many one-of-a-kind unique pieces you can create.
Yeah, none. And one I wanted to show you here is a bit like, some of you may have noticed, I had the butterfly with the same butterfly looking identical with different colored backgrounds. There's a very famous NFT, there are 10,000 of them actually, sets of NFTs, known as the Bored Ape. The Bored Ape, really, here, I'll share this with you. We go there. Here we go. Nope, that's not it. I'll get there. Don't see it here. Oh, here it is. It's right there. Share. There. So that's the Bored Ape. There are 10,000 of those apes, different apes with different backgrounds, different characters. They've become synonymous with NFTs. They just took off overnight. They fetch lots and lots of money on the blockchain, those Bored Apes. BORED, Bored
Oh,
Apes.
Bored Apes. Okay. And so once you
BORED.
purchase an NFT and it goes onto your account, then you can turn around and make it available for someone else to buy it.
Yes. So it starts trading, and of course, the more popular it is, the more people want it. So that even though there are 10,000 Bored Apes, they're very sought after. They're big collectibles on the platform there, and they only started last year. So it's been phenomenal for all the artists that have really taken off with what they're doing. So that's it in a nutshell. I don't know if there's anything else you'd like me to add, or if you have more questions.
I do have another question. So, is there a limitation as to how you can market your NFT? I mean, how do you promote it to let people know that it's there?
No limitation whatsoever. You just get out there and let people know. The secret here, and this is where we've been a bit stymied, I suppose, in World Jenny's Day, because the NFT art collection for World Jenny's Day, we use theatre and the arts every year to soften the conversations around depression, suicide, and solutions. And so the NFT part was one part of many, many things we were doing last year. So the dream for me is to be able to hand over the NFT part of World Jenny's Day to somebody in the know so that it can get out there more and more. But the secret is, if you want to be an NFT artist, the best way to make it work for you is to be constantly participating in the NFT artist communities. Show up regularly. I was showing up regularly as much as I possibly could. It's just not been possible since World Jenny's Day. But I was there, present, listening to other people's arts, pieces of art, their reason, their motivation. I got to know a lot of the artists. So if this is something that you would like to do and start embracing, start becoming part of the NFT community, because the more they know you, the more people will talk about you, the more you tweet your stuff, the more you go into the Twitter rooms and join all the NFT rooms in Twitter on Spaces. Interact, talk, have your say, ask questions, listen to what all those artists are saying to each other and for each other. It's an amazing space as people talk their motivation, and then they start discussing how they made their digital art. It's fascinating to listen to what mediums they use digitally and how they use it. There's one child there of 9 years old. Mother obviously represents the child to make it legal, but the child is with her as he discusses all his different pieces of art. Sometime I would like to interview it, for us to interview them. But it's a fascinating world to step into. And if this really blows your hair back, that's the way to get started. Get your OpenSea account, your MetaMask wallet, start visiting all the community rooms in Twitter with the NFT artists, and then the world's your oyster. If you want to get it out there, we use all the social media platforms when we were launching the World Jenny's Day collection, so that as many people as possible knew that it was happening. In fact, I haven't mentioned this. The night we had our drop party, Vera, our Ukrainian artist, hosted that drop party for World Jenny's Day. And we had Kev there, Kev Orkian. He was very much a part of believing that this was an amazing way forward. And we were creating history, really, this time last year with this. And it's excuse me, we not only had that, but we attached World Jenny's Day and this art collection and World Jenny's Day generally to the Sustainable Development Goals. You know, the United Nations have their Sustainable Development Goals. Now, they were written probably about 20 years ago, very human-centric, basically saying, if humans don't get the plot right, the world's going to be destroyed. And they were rewritten again about 3 years ago by a new set of a new team in the UN, where it made it nature centric. I don't know if a lot of people realize this. So understanding that, like Chernobyl, everything was destroyed, but man destroyed that, but nature came back, because nature has the ability to override so much of what is done, because that is the undercore creativity of creation, and our creator is nature. So they've been rewritten in the UN to be nature-centric rather than human-centric. And so World Jenny's Day attached all that we do to Sustainable Development Goal number 3.4, which is mental health. And we had a couple of the people who'd rewritten those Sustainable Development Goals in the UN present in that launch, in that drop party launch, as they witnessed World Jenny's Day launching a more eco-friendly way of approaching things, and also a more heart-opening way of dealing with mental health challenges. So
Such a fascinating topic, JENETTA.
Really amazing. It blew me away. And what I love, Dr. JACALYN, is that exactly this time last year, I sat here on my own in this space going, where is this leading us this year? And one thing after another snowballed and led us to the next thing to be created. We had so much going on all at the same time, including the NFTs, but by the end of the year, I had to stop and go, it accumulated an amazing team. It started new conversations. And that's where I sit this year with World Jenny's Day. All the fundraising we're doing mostly for 2025, because we're wanting to put Insight in as a gala evening, either in New York or in London. And this year we want to do something with theatre and the arts that's refreshingly new, with bits of last year because they were so impactful. Can't leave those out. So I'm sitting here again in exactly the same place saying, where is this leading us this year for World Jenny's Day?
Time will tell. There's a lot of opportunity for sure.
Yeah, there is. The sky's the limit when you're using the arts. And I'm looking forward to seeing where it guides us.
You did a great job in explaining NFTs. I had no real background in it, and I think I have a pretty good understanding of it, and I'm going to explore myself. It sounds fascinating.
You are so welcome. And any questions you have, of course, going to the World Jenny's Day page does help.
Yes.
And any other questions, just ask me. If any of our viewers and listeners want to reach out to me, you can get hold of me on the World Jenny's Day page, actually. We've got lots of contact places there that you can ask. Very welcome.
Jeanette, I'm going to spotlight you. So for people who are listening on the radio, and you've got 2 websites, who should reach out to you? I know you say anyone and everyone, but how can they reach you, and where will you be next week?
Okay, so I'll answer that last question first. I'll still be here in the northeastern part of South Africa with my family. So I'll be presenting from the same place and space, because I haven't seen all these children and grandchildren of mine for 2.25 years because of COVID. Andy, my partner, and I got locked down literally under the equivalent of house arrest in Oxford in England. Thank goodness for platforms like this where I was able to talk to everybody. So I'm trying to make sure I get the best out of this time. So I'll still be here next week. How can you get hold of me? Well, there's the Epiphany Process website, which is theepiphanyprocess.com. And then there's jennysday.com. And who should actually reach out to me? If you're feeling challenged, and hands up, who isn't feeling challenged right now? If not from COVID and now all that's going on in Europe, it can shake people to a place where one wonders how one can cope with all these challenges. And if you're feeling like that right now and the world feels shaky to you, and expressing how you feel to those that matter to you and those who are very close to you feels like an impossibility, then it would be wise to reach out, and I would be delighted to hear from you. Would be an honor and privilege to be able to impart the skills and techniques to handle difficult situations with powerful conversations, because it's the conflict in our own selves where we can logicalize and then our emotions don't agree with that logic. And when that conflict's happening, there's a little war inside ourselves. So if you'd like to know how to manage that conflict so that powerful ways to respond and powerful ways to reason start coming out your mouth and new conversations come with solutions, then I would love to hear from you. And as I say, either from the Epiphany Process website or World Jenny's Day website.
Thanks, Jenetta. And we know that at least one person has reached out live on the show and you were able to assist her.
Absolutely. That's been so precious that that she did that, because it takes a lot of courage to step forward on a live show and say, listen, I have a problem and can you help me? So I was so proud of her for doing that, and the process has really helped her tremendously. And if you go into the Epiphany Process testimonials and success stories, there are videos there of people who've been through the most difficult of circumstances, telling you how these life skills have helped them to not look back. They're living really full, heart-opening lives.
Well, congratulations. That's fantastic. And I'm so glad that you're here as part of our team.
Oh, me too. I just love being with you every week. I love and appreciate you. And I'm so looking forward to next week. And we've got a lovely lineup of amazing people over the next month that Dr. JACALYN and I can't wait to share with you. So tune in this time next week again.
Thank you, Jenetta. And what time is it there?
Here in South Africa, it is nearly 4:00 in the afternoon.
Okay. Well, you enjoy your evening as we're just getting started here with our morning.
Yes, you have a wonderful day too, and huge amounts of love and appreciation to all our viewers and listeners around the world.
Yes, absolutely. And thanks for a brilliant explanation about NFTs today. I really found it
You are
fascinating.
so welcome. It was my honor and privilege.
All right. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye. Hello, friends. Thank you so much for watching, whether you're watching on the live or you're watching on the replay. If you're over on our YouTube channel, if you would just click subscribe, we would love to have you as part of our USA Global TV family. We are coming back with another show. I think we have 8 shows today. So we are off for the next hour and then we'll be back. So thank you for watching and spreading the word. Wherever it is you're watching us from, please stay there and we'll be back shortly. Our next show video is the United Kingdom news and culture. And we've got some amazing clips that Helena Shard and Ian Palm-Turner have shared with us. Also, our other correspondent, Simon McDonald, was just at the seafood convention in Boston in the United States, and he's got some brilliant pictures to share with us as well. So we'll look forward to seeing you then, along with my co-host, Diane Floyd-Bain. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you again shortly. Bye.
The session that we had with BCAT was really entertaining and enlightening. We were able to put together some very specific steps that we as individuals can take, and it was really fun to all come together and see sort of where we're going as a team and how we can all get there together.
We had a tremendous experience with the BCAT partners. One of the challenges that we have as an organization is to make sure that we have the right people in the right chairs doing the right thing. To do that well, you have to have synergy. You can try to dream up ways to make sure that your group does that, or you can rely on experts. We would recommend BCAT partners to anybody who's looking to take their organization to the next level.